welcome to Atlassian, the Atlassian Clinic Forge Fridays. The Forge is lit, and we are cooking up some fun stuff with you today. What are we going to build, builders? Let's find out. All righty. We'll give folks a moment to join, and then we'll start chatting about what's on tap today. As you join, builders, shout yourself out, say hi, let us know that you're here. We will put chat on stream because why the heck not? Oh, but it does it in that weird way. I want an overlay for it. We'll get there. But let's get some more of you in here. I can do this while live? That's wild. That's pretty neat. We've got our trusty friend here, Miss Blue, today. She's going to help us build things. So asked Miss Blue what she wants to build, and she said she would like to build a robo agent that gives her dog treats. So we're going to do that, I think, today. We're going to take a 10-minute break at the top of the hour at 1 p.m. I have to go let the other dogs out and give them their meds. And then we'll probably take a 5-minute break at around 1. Well, we might just go a whole hour. We're going to go from 12:30 to 1, then 1:10 to 2. So that should work pretty well. We'll give a couple of minutes again for folks to show up. Because it's literally me just talking to all of you nobodies at the moment, because nobody else is yet here. We're still building this stream. We're still building this community, but that's okay. Oh, hold on. Ooh. All right, so there's something going on back here on that back leg. Okay. I don't know what it is yet. All right, we got our first guest here. It looks like it might be somebody's over on Twitch, but don't know if that's just a bot or an actual person. Never really do know. You know how that works. I can get an RTMP key and stream right over there. Oh, well, that's a thing we're going to do. Just give me a shout out as you are here. We just got a couple folks at the moment. Hey, Nick, great to have you. Welcome to the Atlassian Clinic Forge Fridays. What has got you most excited today? I'm going to setting up a couple of things really quick here. Uh, I'm adding an additional location here, but we're going to talk about a bunch of fun stuff today. Atlassian's been really busy. We've got the new MCP server, the dynamic triggers module EAP, the type safe interface for resolvers. We've got the new Confluence display conditions, uh, the CLI updates, two RFCs, one for new link egress type, and one for Forge LLMs, which I'm particularly interested in. Um, and so we've also got the UI kit editor components EAP and even more. And we've got a big announcement about next week's event too, which is really exciting. That goes there. This goes here. Does that work? Cool. Fully just uploading some things here to let folks know that it's happening. Um, uh, and a there we go. All right, sweet. That should be live over on Streamplace, which is pretty freaking neat. Streamplace runs with uh, over OBS I'm using Restream. Oh, learn to start with. Okay, interesting what you come up to a sister organization. Excellent. Can you give me a little bit of background on what experience you have? Are you brand new to development or brand new to Forge development? I also see we got a couple other folks here. Who's hopping up around here? Let's see. I wish it did a better job of showing me who all was around. Instead, like you have to have other windows open to see that, which is not my favorite thing to do. But let me just do that. So I want to see who's over on our live stream on YouTube right now. Who else is out here streaming and strutting? Ooh, come on. Just you, Nick, and me. It said there were more people, but then they disappeared. Very confusing. Okay, cool. Well, let's hop into some stuff. So, Nick, you're brand new at the moment. So, I'll give you a quick overview of Forge just to give some context. It's one of the things I like to do sort of at the top of streams. So, let's get up a good window to do this. I need to make like a little about Forge just slideshow that I can use regularly. New to Forge. Okay, mainly PowerShell script. Okay, so we're in the same boat. I was sysadmin before I moved over into still doing some Forge stuff, but mostly do a lot of IT and sysadmin stuff today. So, what is Forge? Let's start talking about it. Effectively, Forge is Atlassian's cloud development platform. So it's all hosted. Well, you can host it all. They provide the runtime, the the resolvers to help you do backend stuff, events, storage, your front ends, all of it you can host right in Atlassian's cloud. They provide you APIs for front-end development. They provide you APIs for doing the back end. You can do REST calls into all of that. It's really powerful. And let me just show you what it looks like here really briefly. Okay, so this is what the Forge platform sort of looks like overall. It does that weird thing. I'm not going to get, okay, here, let me just click on the image. There we go. Okay. So in general, what we're doing is we're going to write apps using the APIs and the modules that Atlassian provides us. We've got a CLI that does most of the powering of all of that, and then we push it into Atlassian's cloud. They create environments for us that you can manage, that you can see in your developer console, and then we can, after we deploy them into the environments, we can install them into different instances to work through them. So what we'll do is, like, since it's just you and me today, let's go and quickly do. Well, let's what we're going to do is I'm going to run through a little bit of the new information that's going on, some of the new stuff that's come out, and then we'll pop back into. I'll just sort of show you how to set things up initially so that you can get going. How does that sound? Sound good to you? Okay. So let's talk about some of the things that are new. Sorry, I'm dealing with a dog that was attacked by our other dogs today. She's okay, but we had a little bit of craziness, and so I just want to make sure that everybody's all good. So I have her in my hands, so it might be taking a little bit longer here. Okay, so one thing I'll shout out here. Let's go ahead and share this screen again. This is a developer change log. Basically, if you want to know what's happening in Atlassian's development platform, this is where you should come. You can create your own feed. You can filter against like the different types of information and the components. So that's whether it's like Forge for particular apps. It could be the marketplace platform, the REST APIs, all sorts of these. And you can generate a nice RSS feed, and you can even throw it in like to Slack to keep you up to date. So some of the things that I want to shout out really quick, and we'll go through some of these in more detail in a second, but we'll just go over them at the moment. Yeah, she's okay. She's right here. This is Miss Blue. Oh, okay. There's something going on, girl. We'll find it. This is Miss Blue. Right here. She's one of 9. Okay. So Atlassian just recently released the Forge MCP server, which is really exciting. So we can now connect an MCP server directly into our development flow, which will help us um, write better code, especially for people like you and me, Nick, who have not as much experience writing Atlassian code. This is really helpful. Um, it'll give you a little bit more information, good context-aware guidance. So we're not replacing the CLI. The CLI is the other piece we use for tunneling, bundling, and deploying our apps. Everybody's yelling. They're very upset that they're in their crates from lunch, but they will come out soon. So Atlassian also has recently rolled out the Rovo Dev CLI, which you can install with and around the Forge CLI. We'll walk through all this stuff. So Rovo Dev CLI is basically their agentic development tool, like a Cloud Code or or OpenAI Codex. But also you can use it in Cursor, VS Code, or other IDEs or custom clients. I use Warp sometimes. So a bunch of options. And we can prompt the agent and use it, tell it, always want to make sure that we're using it we want to make sure that we let it know to use the Forge related tools, the Forge MCP tools. We're only getting publicly available information. All data is sourced straight from here. And the one thing to note is that, like, if the knowledge index isn't refreshed regularly, that's on Atlassian to handle, but it's good to be aware of, to always check. So it's really cool that they've had that. I was trying to build my own. I'm really happy that it already exists now. So we'll be looking at that here in a short thing. All right, let's look at the dynamic trigger modules, EAP. So we'll do a little talk about how trigger modules work in the first place. Here we go, the dynamic trigger module. So, dynamic modules. What Atlassian's working with here is a couple of modules that will let you like easily customize a module during runtime instead of having to do it at the top. So this is pretty cool. They've been looking at more module options. Here, this is sort of the old thing, but this is now an EAP. And an EAP means that you can apply to Atlassian really easy. You can sign up to the EAP really simply. You just go in here, basically, and you can sign up for the EAP to start playing around with the code. They'll enable the ability for those modules to be run on your developer site. So this is great because it means that you don't have to always like set up all of the modules that you might set up at the beginning. You can just like put in the dynamic modules, and then they can be made available on demand. So it's much more simple to sort of handle things without needing to do updates. So it's sort of like some pre-planning. So that is pretty cool. What else we got here? If you're learning, this is also really important. I think it's a great place to start. So there's now type-safe functions. So in the latest versions of Forge Resolver and Forge Bridge, you can make sure that your front-end code can share the types with your backend to make sure that the invocation to interface is type safe. Super helpful. Like type safety I think Atlassian has sort of started to bring in, like, now you can use script and not just JavaScript, which makes sense as TypeScript is a strongly typed version of JavaScript. And if you're just learning JavaScript, then this is a great way to work through this stuff, because it's not just it's just, you're not the only person, like you're not having to find things out at compile time or at runtime. I forget which one it is. Anyway, I'm having a day, as you can tell. But what else? Ooh, right. They also dropped some Confluence display conditions. Do you mostly work at Confluence or Jira at your work, Nick? So it looks like a lot of this is you can now use these conditions in your Confluence modules or in your Confluence apps to understand, like, does this person have the page permission or the space permission, or are they an external collaborator, as a way to sort of control when things display. These were not available before in Jira. Good to know. So one of the things to know is Atlassian this is Atlassian's second cloud development environment. I mean, it's the first fully hosted one before they had Connect. So they're still sort of bringing all of the Connect um, capabilities into Forge rapidly. So this is sort of catching up on these, and you now can use entity property conditions for both app and user properties as well. So that's a really good thing that they've added. Um, then there's a new version of the CLI. The CLI is a tool that Atlassian recently rolled out, the Atlassian CLI, which is a way to do a bunch of stuff from the command line. For you, Nick, actually, as a as an Jira administrator, like the CLI is really, really cool. The Atlassian CLI is basically a command line interface that you can use to do a bunch of stuff. Now, this was a thing. There was a version of this that looked a lot like this, or looks a lot like this. It's made by a company called AppFire now, originally created by a guy named Bob Swift. Atlassian, I mean, it's been around for like 15, 20 years. Atlassian finally realized they should probably have something like this that's first party. And so they built the command line interface themselves. Um, so there's so much to do with the CLI. Um, Great for scripting, like really great for scripting. You can use it in a CI pipeline. Like you can. This is the thing. You can you can use it in your in a pipeline. You can probably use it in all sorts of interesting ways. You know, um, like in a CI pipeline, you can call it from your um, from your bash. Your CI pipeline. So if you wanted to like make an update to a ticket or do something that like an integration can't do, you can do it right through the CLI, which is pretty neat. Um, so there's a bunch of information about all the things you can do here. Um, the Get Started is here. It comes as part of Rovo Dev CLI, so you'll need to activate that as well. But like, here's all of the information on the way that you can do these things. Um, so it's pretty freaking neat, all the things that you can do. And it has its own change log if you want to be aware of what's happening just with that. So great documentation and information here. The newest thing is that we've now got some more Jira commands. So listing sprints, getting all the boards, like this is some big stuff. This is good stuff. Yeah, CLI is good stuff. All right. Anybody else around? If you are, folks, shout it out. Say hello. Looks like at the moment it might just still be you and me, Nick. It's always unclear in this way that these things are shown. Okay. Oh, cool. It looks like we have somebody maybe over from Streamplace. That's sweet. Hello, Streamplace friends. That's exciting. I'm streaming into Blue Sky, which is a new thing. Okay, next. Next up, RFC 116. So this is where I'm going to show you other important information. So this is the other place that you'll end up a lot if you're working with this stuff, is the developer community. So it is a discourse instance. So here is this is where you're going to be able to go ask questions, everything on Forge, Rovo, all of this. This is where you will probably spend a lot of time chatting with folks about how to fix things or how you need to do things. A lot of great developers in here to answer your questions. So here's 116, the new link egress type. So Atlassian posts RFCs to get feedback from the community, the developer community. It's important to note that, of course, these are not binding in any way. It's mostly that what they're doing is trying to get developer input before they make decisions. So Atlassian recently created a type of product called Runs on Atlassian, and that means everything is hosted in their cloud, so that there's no egress technically. The issue with that has been that there have been a lot of like use cases where, oh, analytics, I need analytics. Atlassian's analytics don't cut it yet. So I'm going to need some analytics in order to be able to keep an eye on what's going on with my app. So therefore, Atlassian introduced like exceptions for a certain set of analytics. Oh, you're still over there? Oh, weird. How'd that happen? Oh, okay, gotcha. No problem. Let me get back there. I know what I did. It's just sharing this one. Oh my God. Where is it? Yeah, here's all this stuff too. Like, there we go. Here we go. So they keep sort of, so like, yeah, currently app devs can't provide users to direct links like documentation, tutorials, or videos from within their apps without triggering egress warnings or losing their runs on Atlassian status. So sort of we're in this place sometimes where Atlassian is rushing to put things in because they're hearing from customers that they want it, and then they haven't solved all the problems. So here's one. Um, Atlassian is recommending that they get a new link egress type, so you can declare a list of static exact URLs that users can navigate to via explicit user actions that automatic that would not keep the app from violating runs on Atlassian. Runs on Atlassian just means everything happens in Atlassian's cloud except for anything that has a specific like validation here through Atlassian. So you can statically declare safe external links, and you're not treating them as data egress then. So that would be the key. It is interesting here. There are people, there's a configurable egress, this different thing. So here's Atlassian going through and dealing these things. And people have a lot of feelings about it. So this is the way that they have conversations. So it's a good thing to know, to be aware of. You can see a lot of people do not like this process. Oh, Remy is back. I thought he was gone. Okay. Okie doke. And then there is, oh, well, we're back here still, right? That's where we want to stay. So the other one is 117, which I actually think is way cooler. So let's find that one. Oh, come on. Here, let me just go get it from the changelog then. People make me mad when they do things like this. So Atlassian's working on giving developers direct access to the LLMs that they host. Are you still seeing just the CLI details right now? You should be seeing, oh, wait, hold on. Okay, here we go. Man, I keep getting confused about where I need to be. That's my fault. Did that help? No. Ah. Wow. Okay. My bad. Do you want me to go back over the link egress stuff? I can. But the important part is that all this stuff is here. But this is cool. Atlassian's trying to let you use their LLMs that they host in AWS. So generally, we really recommend to folks they come and check out what's happening in the developer change log and in the community, developer community, and give feedback. Because that's how you let Atlassian know what you think. Until you're like, if you're selling an app, it's a different way. But like as an admin or a developer, this is a great place to be, like a developer or an admin inside your company. This is a great way to do that stuff. Okay, and then there is one more. So let me stay here. I want to shout out UI kit editor components. So Atlassian is now making editor components with Halo. Tell me about Halo, Nick. I don't know a lot about it. Yes, Miss Blue. Hi. Oh, Master Chef is 117. Ah, the main character. Right. Okay, you meant Halo the game. Got it. I got confused. So Atlassian is just showing you sort of like how you can do some of these. You can include the editor in your, it's a comment editor. You can put these in your app now if you want. So yeah, that's all the new stuff that's come out for Forge in the past couple of weeks. So why don't we, so here's what we're going to do, Nick. We're going to take the 10-minute break that I said we were going to take at the top of the hour. Then when I come back, you and I will get into building our first Forge app together. All right? That should be a really fun thing to do. So I will see you all back here at quarter after. Okie doke. Sorry for the slight delay. Rodney. Oh, right. Okay, there we go. Hi, friends. Yeah, we're sufficiently internety today. Had some Donko drama that I had to take care of. And now, Nick and I, as the folks that are here, we got a couple more people here. Who else is here? So Nick's here. Let me switch to myself. Hey, everyone. Who all is here? I got Rodney. We got Nick. Let's go ahead and we'll do Visual Studio Code, I think. 1 second. Okay. We'll generate a new workspace. Oh, I don't want to generate a new workspace. Jesus. Let's just get the terminal open. New terminal. There we go. Okay, let's close all of these things. Yeah, that's fine. Oh my gosh. Outdoor decorating blitz. Exciting, exciting. So what we're going to do, let's see. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get Nick going. So let me share my screen here. Okie dokie, Nick. I'm in Visual Studio Code. You can be in whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. Because what we're gonna do is we're going to start by going through the process of updating. Can I share multiple screens? Hold on. No, I think I can only do one. Okay. Anyway, what we need to do is go ahead and install Forge. And so there's a couple of steps we go through for installing Forge. So the first thing we're going to do, and I'll switch to doing a different screen to go over this. So here we go. So the first thing, you can see that? You can see that. Great. So the first thing we need to do is, VS Code. Nick, do you use Windows or Mac or Linux? By the way, this is this link. Okay. So how do we set things up? Let's just run through it. You can do it on your own, or you can do it with me. First thing we're going to do, hop in the terminal. Got it. So if you're Windows currently, then we've got a whole hello world step by step. So you want to install oh, come here, girl. Biz. Got new dogs. Come here, Biz. Hold on, Amy. This is Lizzo. Okay, so I don't know if you have this all set up. For folks who don't know, you want to download the Node installer if you're on Windows. If you're on Mac, you want to use NVM. You want to install NVM, you can do that from the site. Or if you have Homebrew, you can use brew install NVM. And then the next thing you're going to do is you want to install, you'll get NPM as part of the node installer. Then you'll want to go ahead and install the Forge CLI. So npm install -g add Forge CLI. Once that's the case, you do Forge -- version. And you can look at all the ones doing Forge -- help. Next thing is, I don't know, Nick, if you currently have a developer site. So to get a developer site, you do this. Well, this is what I do because I don't remember. There's a way you go get it. I don't remember. What is the URL? Oh, I remember this one day. Where am I now? I'm still over there. Okay. There's a way you go get a developer site. I have dogs everywhere. Dogs. This is enough. Off. Just for right now. Okay. Free Atlassian developer site. Here it is. Here we go. I got it. I found the link. I'm excited. There it is. And more info here. So, but that first link will get you set up. It'll automatically launch you into getting a site. So once you get that site set up, you want to go to here and get an API token. Then once you get your API token squared away, again, don't use sudo or root when running Forge. But then you're going to run Forge login. And then you're going to follow the steps. It'll ask you for your API token, put that in, and it'll store it in the keychain. If you're using some environment where you can't, like if you use VS Code, or sorry, Code Spaces. I often like to use GitHub Code Spaces. I actually have a Code Spaces link that will get you all set up. Hey guys, it's okay, doggos. Yes, I know doggos, but Nathan is currently just keeping, I think the other dogs are now here. We have a poop guy who comes, so I think that's what's going on, doggo. So be patient. So I have a code space that you can use if you need to, which is a super, super nice way to quickly get yourself squared away. So here, if folks want to use that, that's right there. Clone it, use it. Okay. We'll just go. Rebooting the puppies. That does not work, unfortunately. Guys, do you want to go see Nathan? Is that what's happening here? Okay, hold on. 1 second, y'all. Let me let my dogs go see their dad. Hey, guys. Let me see if he's up for it. The girls would like to know if they can come see you, or would you rather me see them? Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll let them back. I'll open it back up. No, she didn't. Amy. Amy, where did she go? Amy, oh, she, okay. She went the other way. Amy, come here. Well, no, she's probably going to have this move. Or she might. I don't know for sure. But without me. If they get too rowdy, you can come to mind. Wow. Just message, just text me and I'll get it. Okay, friends, I'm back. All right, so if we're set up with Forge, I'm gonna go ahead and do Forge login. Make sure we're in a good place there. I'm actually gonna get to my appropriate. Okay, I'm logged in now. So once you're logged in, so now we can build an app. Let's take a look, actually. I'm gonna show you the options for building an app, and you let me know which one you wanna do. You work in Jira, so let's do some Jira stuff. I'm about to go to the terminal next, Rodney, but thank you. So we got a couple of Jira things here. So you can do the hello world, that's fine, but you might be a little more advanced than that. We can do a Jira issue panel that translates issues using a range of different languages. We can do like a project stats app to like show the stats of a Jira project. We can build an additional page in Jira that shows a project or spaces objective. A to-do app. We can do some UI modifications to show how to sort of change the way that things lay out in an admin page. You can add a JQuery editor to basically any page, which is interesting. And then you can also create a whole new function, which is really nice if you want to write like custom JQuery functions. There's some other things that we can do. We can also, if you wanted to, we could look at Robo, and we could even look at some external integrations. Anything particular jump out at you, Nick? We do also have a bunch of Confluence stuff too, or JSM. JSM will show the most recent user requests. Confluence has a question generator, page approver. Yeah. My dogs are so loud right now. Shh. Anybody, Rodney? Anybody else want to pick an app to build? We get like the first one I listed. Okay. So the issue translator app. Excellent. Cool. So it's going to add a Jira issue panel module that translates the contents of an issue into a range of different languages using the Azure Translator Text API. So that probably means we will want to set up a little Azure thing. Maybe you have Azure already. If not, we'll do that when we get there. So we have the code here. So we can go ahead and hit that URL. Here we go. Yep. Okay, so this is going to give us the whole thing really fast. What we'll do is we'll walk through it a little bit, and I'll talk to you about the different pieces of what we're doing, all right? So you will want to, while we're waiting, go sign up for the Azure Translator Text API. And that'll let you get your authentication key and location. And then when we come back, we'll set the variables and everything. But right now, what I'm going to do is clone this repository. This is a little bit different than what we've done before, and we'll talk through this. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay. So what I'm going to do is do this to do a git clone. Oh, interesting. Well, okay, all right. There's a weird thing about the way that this works. This may work just fine. Let me look. Yeah, use the HTTPS link and it'll probably be fine. There we go. Yep. So if you have a problem when you're grabbing it, you want to hit the clone button and then grab the HTTPS link. Or there's even a clone in VS Code if you want to use that, just so you know. I know you're still seeing my terminal and I didn't show that. Okay, so now let me switch to that. So we're going to CD over to, oh, why did it do that? VS Code is weird. There we go. So we're going to CD into Forge UI kit to translate. And then if we look here, I'm going to go ahead and open this folder. There we go. They're using, okay, so I'm going to delete yarn.lock because that one is actually not relevant to using NPM. And now we're going to talk about the files that are in here. Yeah, that's fine. We're not using GitLab right now. Atlassian old stuff there. There's the source ESLint if you were going to use it. There's the key for Azure where you can get it. So they got some pictures and stuff. A demo of it working. This is where we start, okay? So here's our manifest. The manifest sort of defines the way the app works. So the manifest starts, and normally you create one of these by running forge create, is how that normally works. Because we're using an app that already exists, we don't call forge create. What we're going to do is do a forge register in just a moment, and then it's going to give us an app ID. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. And actually, in fact, let me just, I think we're logged in already. Let me just make sure we're logged in here. Ooh, I'm out of date. Way out of date. The appropriate way to upgrade is actually to first do this. You want to uninstall, and then you want to reinstall. We'll do that for a quick moment. Okay. Do Forge login again. Get me in. Cool, logged in. We've got our code. The manifest lays out the way the app acts. I'm going to show you that in a minute, but the first thing we want to do is we want to register this app with Atlassian. So we do a Forge register. I'm going to give it a name. We'll call it okay, you may have noticed just something. You might have noticed that this line just popped in, this ID. So that ID is the unique app ID. When you run a Forge Create, there's Forge Create, and you can pick templates and everything. That will automatically be filled in for you. We're pulling code down, so we have to tell it, I have all of this code. Go ahead and just like show me, like push it up there and tell me what exists. So here's what we're doing. This is what we're doing. First, we're saying, what modules am I using in this? This is where I declare which things I get to use. So I'm using the Jira issue panel. Here's the key that I'll use to call it in other places in my code. This is the title of the module that I'm using in the app here. I think that's really weird. We'll find out. Here's the description and the icon. Yeah, this is for what your app is going to have. Resource is main, which here we call it down here. So you see what is the module, where's the code for it? The resource is called main. And so then we declare it down here, and that's the path to the front end of that code. So we can see that here. Here's our JSX that we're writing for our React. And then back to our manifest. We're also render. So render is going to tell us what kind of UMI am I using. Am I using I'm making sure that I'm not silly about what I'm saying here. So under modules, and we're using Jira issue panel. I believe that that's going to have me say render is, yep. Am I using UIKit or not? Native says, yes, I'm using modern UIKit. So I'm using Atlassian's building blocks for my code. Instead of fully writing custom UI. Then also, where's my resolver? My resolver, of course, is going to be, sorry, that's a little caught up there being unable to speak. The resolver is the thing that talks from the front end to the back end. So we declare a resolver here, and we say the key of the resolver is that, and the handler is index.handler. So we can see here in resolvers, we'll actually, there's a way we call this thing. Hold on, we call it, I think, in here, resolver. It's somewhere. Import resolver from Forge resolver. And what we declare in the manifest around our resolvers. Let's see. There you go, Forge resolver. So we are going to, we define the backend functions in the source directory of our Forge app. So that's this directory here, obviously. And there's our resolvers that we're defining. And we refer to the resolver in the manifest. And so when we call out resolver here, it contains the function property, right? The function resolver is what we call it. So, which references the function module that will be that contains the handler for the resolver to use my app. So that means that if I go look at my front end code here, we find it. Where am I setting this resolver? Import. Well, I don't see my resolver, but there's something happening here that's in this util check response. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Export handler from resolvers. Okay, so what we're doing is, I see what we've done. So in our right, somehow we are export. Yep, we're okay. So we're exporting the constant handler from resolver.get definitions, and so we're using that. Something. Oh, invoke forge bridge. I think we're doing all these fun things here. You would think I would be better at this, but the truth of the matter is that like I'm learning along with you all. So I'm like not going to pretend. Const handler, resolver get definitions. In the bigger one, we're exporting the handler from the resolvers, right? So we're grabbing it from here. And basically the way that this all works, which I can go look, right? So then in our usage, right? So in our usage of UIKit, I'm trying to figure out where it's using. Okay. It's based off of, yeah, that's that. Okay, right. We're using a button here. I always forget. That's what's happening here. So, if we're looking at our code here, when we do things with our button, on click, we're setting our language code here, and then our reconciler is going to go. Yeah. I still don't understand how all this stuff works as well as I want to. So we're going to do the best thing that we should do, actually. Why am I sitting around here and being silly about this? All right, we talked about the Forge MCP server. Let's set that up and ask a question on the code. I think that would actually be really smart. I'm diddling around on the code page. You saw, but I'm going to go grab the information for setting up our Forge MCP now. All right, so that's this link. Okay. So now we're going to set up the Forge MCP server really quick. Connect your IDE to the Forge MCP server. You should be able to follow along on your page. So in our workspace that we're at right now, we're going to make sure that this is right because it says to go look at the VS Code MCP documentation. So you can centrally manage MCP support. Well, let's see. You can do all, registry, or none. So okay, so what we want to do is first we want to make sure that MCP support access is enabled. So we'll come over here, we'll do our panel. We want to do MCP. Oh, actually, we want to do chat. Sorry, chat. Chat. What's this called? Chat MCP access. Here, I can just click on it and it opens. Amazing. It's allowed. Excellent. Perfect. So the next thing I'm going to do is actually make it really easy here. Go here, Command Shift P, MCP, MCP, open workspace folder, MCP configuration, create file. There it is. We're going to drop that in there. And hit save. There we go. Oh, that's fun. That's not accepted? Why? So it should be HTTP, I expect. I guess it's actual. Well, is SSE HTTPS? Let's see. Or is SSE different? I don't understand. It's super fun. I think it's just HTTP. That's what you can look down there at this context 7.1. So we'll come back here and we'll change this to HTTP. There we go. Okay. Now that we've added that, let's do this. We're going to go ahead and open chat. Well, I would like to see the chat window, please. Thank you. Okay. So many things that you can do. It's wild the way they do this. Okay. So what I want to do is I'm going to grab this. Honestly, I'm just going to grab the source and I'm going to do this. We'll drop the source in and I'll just say, I'll put it in ask mode. And let's see what it says. Oh, I gave you the manifest.json file. Hold on. Maybe not. You didn't get it? Oh, no, because that's outside of that. I forgot. Sorry. That's a manifest.yml. There you go. Sorry. That's where it is, right. So if we look in the manifest.yml, function, right, the resolver is here, function is resolver, sorry, right below. The function key is resolver, and the handler is index.handler, right? And so that imports to our exported handler, which is in this index.js inside the resolver, which is right here, the handler, right? So that connects the UI component to the backend resolver. And then in resources, it's calling that front end resource there. So what happens is the front end calls the resolver, the set language resolver function. So if you go look at our front end here, set language, right here. When it uses set language, const set language, bam. Async country code, set translation response. So we set it there, got it. And it routes the call. Yeah, and then the handler processes the request and returns it to the UI. Got it. So we first set it to set translation. That's where the translation will go. We set the language with the country code that we have, and that's going to use, and then it returns the translation. Yeah, absolutely. Interesting. Yeah, but how does it know? There we go. So in our index.js, for the overall app, right? No, not that one. Inside the resolver code here. Const resolver, new resolver. Right here. Resolver defines set language. Oh, got it. Here's how it works. It fetches the fields. All of it's right there. And then it exports it to the handler resolver get definitions. It returns an object. Exporter handler set language, and then the async function. The key resolver. Got it. It automatically maps import invoke. Got it. And it calls set language right there, and it knows what it is because we called it set language in there. Got it. These are the parts that are really helpful for me to connect. Hopefully that was helpful for you, Nick, a little bit, but let's get back to the manifest really quick, just so I can lay down a few other pieces for you. The resources. So, right, the key main, we called it out. That's where it is. Permissions. What do we need? The scopes are the permissions that we declare to be able to use what permissions in the app is going to use. So what is the app using? The app is using the Jira work. So this lets you read Jira work items as an app. So across the entire instance of Jira, it does read Jira work items. You can do this differently. You can have it check the user and then do it that way, but this is giving like global access. It'll still also check the user's access because if the user can't access a work item, you can't read it anyway. External fetch backend. So this is saying what is the backend calling out to on a fetch API, and it's calling out to this URL, which we see that we're using inside here. So we can see this is where we're basically saying that we're going to use this fetch here, and we're going to call out to the translate API, which is right here, so that we know which one we're using. And then it checks the response and returns it and then updates the UI here. So And then we declare what runtime we're using here. We're using Node 18 plus. This may be out of date. We may need to update that to Node 22. And we have the ID for the app like we had. So the next thing we're going to do is go grab that Azure key. So let me grab that Azure key. Oh, cool. Everything, of course, is like some weird AI thing it's using now, right? The Azure Translator Text API. And then it brings me up to this whole fun AI resources. So I think I want, yeah, text translation. Here we go. Also, is it still using the same API? Yeah, it looks like it is. Great. So okay, so what I really want to do is get to the Azure API. They make this so hard. Okay. Gotta sign in with a different one. I have like 4,200 accounts, so that's fine. What? This is also, this is so much harder than it ever needs to be. Azure for startups? I don't even want to do that. Okay. Is this a real personal account? I don't even know. Oh, cool. That's a real account. You can't even see what I'm doing because I did that thing again where I'm in a different one. So I'm working on getting the API key. It's not particularly exciting because it's very frustrating. I have to sign out on all of these accounts apparently and just create a new one because I'm currently losing my mind. I'm just going to create one. I literally love when this is the ridiculous part of everything. It's not exciting to watch. I'm just make sure you're still around. Yeah, okay, cool. I mean, I guess I can, let me just get this in here. I gotta prove I'm a human. This is all very exhausting, friends. Okay. I think I get an account now. Like, this is what I'm going through. Good old Microsoft. Skip for now. Yeah, all I want is a free trial. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Will this work? We'll find out. Don't look at my address, guys. Oh my gosh. Microsoft is a monster. Yeah. Come on. Just look at me while I finish this. I don't know what's taking it so long. Okay, cool. I have to put in all the information they want from me. Sometimes it's helpful to be a little more prepared, but I never know what I'm going to get here. There we go. Oh. Okay. 327 2285. Sure. Okay. Almost there. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what the password was I set up on this thing. I guess I should stay in until I figure it out. Oh, you're creating my account now. Sure, I'm satisfied with my experience. Okay. Here's what I want to do is now. Yeah, here we go. Text translator. I'll create a translator. Create a resource group. Man, this is exhausting. East US. Which pricing? Free. Just create it and give me an IP address. Or whatever I need. Come on. Okay, I'm finally getting this stuff. Okay. What do I need from this? Is I need keys and endpoint. Let's find that. Go to resource. There we go. That's an IAM. This is like, where do you find your keys and your endpoint? Oh, now that the resource group. What are my resources? What? Oh, I just created the text translator. Yeah, this is so terrible. Okay. Back. Text translation, create outputs. What did it create? A COG services account. That's what I want to go to. Okay. Found it. Keys and endpoint. My goodness. Is anybody still there? Or is it just me talking to myself? I see 4 of you. Nick, are you still there? Are you still alive? Because I know I just went off on like a hilarious road trip of my own. Well, I hope you're here. As I can look. Oh no, it's totally just me. How did I delete? Why did I delete messages? That's super weird. Okay. Anyway, since there are 4 people, there are not 4 people. At least not in the chat. Anyway, let's wrap this up. I got the API. I managed to do it. This is the most frustrating thing I've ever had in my life. Okay. So, set. Got it. I'm going to go back into here. We're going to do with my key. There it is. Look at that. We need to update this. There you go. Environment variable set. Great. Is it using the right API endpoint still? I just want to make sure. Set another one. It's East US. Great, and then we should just be able to do forage deploy. It's going to lint everything. Ooh, can't resolve forge resolver. Let's check our dependencies in package.json. Oh, interesting. Ah, so these are really old. Got it. Probably from before. They probably haven't made changes. Yeah, okay. What is wrong with that? Oh, got it. Let's see now how it works. I'll try one more time. Some outdated dependencies. Can't resolve Forge API in the code here. Oh. Let's not make the changes and realize we forgot to do one really important thing. Yeah. Yeah, that works. You got to do npm install. I forgot about that step. Oh. Oh, I know why. It still says there's like 4 of you here, which is pretty cool. But yeah. I'm probably going to end the stream here in just a moment. I don't know if I've had any people come over here and say anything. I don't think so. That's fine. I was the only viewer, but it was fun to try. Oh, it's now installed. So I should be able to go to command click. And visit the site. Oh, I do not see. I keep getting. Huh. I have no idea what's going on. That's fun. Well, it's been a good time. Deshaun just messaged me. Let's go look at that. Oh, it's blocking you from typing? Why? Oh, you might have to sign in. Honestly, I don't even know which thing I just installed it in on. That's really funny. Let's do this then. Hey, Deshaun, I don't know why I won't let you chat, but you might try logging in to the chat or the YouTube. It's very weird. I've had a lot of fun trying to understand how Node works, which is really fun. So finding apps is always fun here too. That's why. It says it's installed. It's really wild that I don't see it. I mean, I know how to address that. Got it. This is what happens when I use Atlassian's own code. Let's see here. There it is, forge. Forge remote. All right, this is old stuff, I think, is why. I think that's on me. I would guess. Yeah, it is. Yeah, absolutely. Operations fetch. Yep. Got it. Here we go. This is what I want to see. So is that still backwards too? Direct listen. Got it. So that's what we need to do. It was one step too far. All right, I'm heading out. Sorry, it was an earlier stream than I thought, Zishan. But next week we've got Karen with us and Katarina. So I'm going to be putting out information about that probably today or tomorrow. All right, take care, everyone. Bye bye.